Some people in this world are inexcusably stupid. Bill O'Reilly. Now, recently Bill O'Reilly had an interview and a debate with Charles Dawkins, and they were debating whether or not intelligent design should be taught in science classrooms along with or as opposed to evolution.
I'm throwing in with Jesus rather than throwing in with you guys, because you guys can't tell me how it all got here. You guys don't know.
We're working on it. Physicists are working.
When you get it, then maybe I'll listen.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, if you look at the history of science over the centuries, the amount that's gained in knowledge each century is stupendous.
All right, when you guys figure it out, then you come back here and tell me, because until that time, I'm sticking with Judeo-Christian philosophy.
All right, now, Bill O'Reilly, as you can see, his argument against science is that we can't tell us where it all came from. But again, science bases their statements and their claims as solely under evidence. They don't make any claims without having complete evidence for and to back up their claims. Those are called theories, ones without evidence, and religion is a theory. They don't teach theories in science classrooms because you can't prove them. And they can change at any moment in time unless they have proof, at which case it cannot be changed.
So now, tell me where I'm going wrong here. I believe in creative design. I believe in evolution. But I think it was overseen by a higher power because, as we just stated, and you acknowledged, you guys still haven't figured out how it all began.
There's a great deal that science hasn't worked out, and we don't know how it all began, but it's a most extraordinary piece of warped logic to say that because science can't answer a particular question, you're going to throw in your lot with Jesus, and there's no evidence that he did it either. You'll never get any evidence for any of them. Throw in your lot with science, which at least is working on the problem.
If we cannot figure out, or we don't know where it all came from, we should not turn to a non-evidence-based belief. If we want to figure it out and we don't know yet, we can't just make up answers. We can't just make it up, because that's what religion does. It answers questions that we don't have answers to. And quite frankly, it's inaccurate, and there are claims that cannot be backed up by evidence.
See, my thesis is that if everybody followed the teachings of Jesus Christ, that we'd have peace on earth, love your brother, everybody love one another, and we'd almost be an idyllic civilization. Well, here's the problem that I have with throwing him in a lot with science. Science doesn't advance the human condition in any moralistic way, and Jesus did.
No, he didn't. What? What? No. What is he talking about? Listen, Bill O'Reilly. He didn't advance in moralistic way. In the Bible, they talk about killing, genocide, murder, stone everybody who works on the Sabbath, stone all women who aren't virgins before they get married, kill people who cheat on their wife, and just, it goes on and on. That's not moral, and it's completely conflicting with the very next chapter that says, thou shalt not kill. I mean, how is this moral? It makes no sense. Why does science all of a sudden need to advance in a moralistic way? Morals exist without science. We have morals. Science and morals are separate. And now religion is trying to put moral into the philosophy, and that's just not true. There's no solitary morals, and there's morals for every religion that ever existed. And if you want all the morals to be taught, then that's one thing. But he's saying no. If everybody believes in Jesus, then it'll all be happy. Well, I've got news for him. The Christian belief has been around for 2,000 years, and it has not had a positive effect on the world. We still had the Dark Ages, we still had wars, we still have conflict now, and the religion-based wars is the #1 cause of death. It causes so many deaths per year because they are conflicting, and people disagree, and they're willing to kill each other for it. And I'm not okay with that. It's not moralistic. It tries to be, but it's not working. And it's it's completely illogical to say that science needs to be moralistic now, because that's just moronic.
Now, am I 100% sure that Jesus is God? No, but I choose to believe that because the man was so extraordinary, and what he did in his 33 years on earth still resonates to this day.
Why would you muddle up the question of giving you a moral compass for life, which is important, with the other question, which is explaining the nature of the world, the nature of life, the nature of the universe? That's what science is about.
Okay, and I understand that, but I don't think that my belief system contradicts science.
It most certainly does contradict science, sir. Do you still believe that the Earth is flat? Do you still believe that the Earth was created 6,000 years ago? Do you still believe that the entire world was flooded while a tiny little 100-foot boat with all 200 billion species was just sailing away? That didn't include dinosaurs, by the way. I mean, it completely contradicts science. There is no way that you could possibly believe those stories literally without then contradicting science. It's just completely illogical. And again, Mr. Bill, you are wrong.
But leave it out of the science class.
It's not fair to leave it out of the science class if the science class is incomplete. And you, by your own admission, say, we don't know how it all began.
All right, Mr. Bill, if you think that the science class needs to be complete, why don't we teach Islam? Why don't we teach Hinduism? Why don't we teach Buddhism? Why don't we teach the pagan religion? Why don't we teach Greek mythology? Why do we have to teach Christianity? Or at least present Christianity? It just doesn't make sense. It's non-evidence-based belief, and that's what science is. You need evidence in order to back up your beliefs, and there is no such thing as evidence in those kind of belief systems. I don't understand the argument that it needs to be complete, because science is complete as far as evidence presents itself. All the claims that science makes is evidence backed up, and the belief that you think it must be complete by explaining where everything came from is just idiotic. Then why don't we teach the flying spaghetti monster? I mean, it's just silly.
Just because science has a gap in its knowledge, that does not entitle you to turn to any other particular alternative. Pick on a better science.
No, that's fascism. For you to say that you can't mention...
Fascism?
Yeah. For you to say that you cannot, in a public school classroom, a science classroom, talk about brilliant men, and I mean brilliant, smarter than you, who do believe in a higher power, who do believe that there was an overseer of the universe. If you insist you can't even mention it, that is fascism, sir. You present in the science classroom all the alternatives that are legitimate.
He says legitimate. Only legitimate theories should be taught in science classrooms. What is legitimate? Because I don't think Christianity is very legitimate. There's complete contradiction, there's murder, there's rape, there's genocide, there's so many different things that is just absolutely horrible, and I don't think that that is very legitimate, as opposed to the flying spaghetti monster or some moon god that I just made up, or the Big Bang Theory. I mean, why don't we teach the Big Bang Theory in science classes? Because if we teach kids that and then it changes, then they're going to have information in their head that is wrong. That theory can change, and if we teach them that and they have it and then it changes, there's a problem. That's why we don't do that. That's why we don't teach religion, because it can change, because it can be proven wrong, and because it doesn't make sense.
Science is unique in that it does base itself upon evidence rather than upon superstition, upon authority, upon holy books, or upon revelation.
Well said, Mr. Richard Dawkins. Please feel free to check out my channel, rate this video, comment please, you like it, you don't like it, whatever. And please check out my channel. I'd really appreciate it if you check out my channel, and if you subscribe, I will come to your house and I will bake you a very large cake. No, I won't. Whatever, here's the link right here. Okay. Bye-bye.